Hi everyone, today I want to do the part 2 for my Daniel Smith watercolor palette video, and last video was quite long, and so I wanted to do a separate video where I concentrate purely on the colors themselves. I'm not going to go into the detail of pigments because I think that will make it a very long video, but predominantly I just want to explain and show you the colors themselves. So first of all, I have rearranged my palette. Last time, in my last video, in the part 1, you saw this arrangement, which I was saying that I wanted to be quite creative and go away from the traditional arrangement of starting with yellows and sort of going into the right and finishing with black or dark colors. And although I really like this setting, but having tried to paint with that setting or that arrangement proved to be quite challenging because all my other palettes are arranged in the traditional way, the classic way. So it basically took me longer, and I felt it was a bit of a distraction in terms of trying to reset my mind, and instead of going for yellows into this corner, I would then have to go in the middle somewhere here, and I just felt it was it was sort of a distraction towards painting. Instead of me quickly going and grabbing a color and then painting, I would have to reset my mind and sort of rethink where things are, even though I do have a swatch list here, but still. So I thought, for that matter, I will rearrange the palette yet again, and it seems to be working quite well this way. It's still not a traditional arrangement in the sense of I have a little bit of a situation going on right here. So these are technically they are within the purple tones. They're sort of muted grey tones of the purple, so they're not the vibrant purples as you can see here. But I have decided to, instead of traditionally you would place them somewhere around here, I decided to put them right at the end. And what I have done this way is that I have kind of gone traditional until here, until the end of the greens, and decided to do these 4 last colors like speciality colors. So for example, Buff Titanium is a color that I would only use as a skin tone in my fashion illustration, so that wouldn't be a regularly or a daily color that I would use. And Shadow Violet and Moonglow, although I'm planning to use them frequently, but to me they are colors which I wouldn't necessarily mix with any other color because they're already interesting as they are, which will come back in a second, but they are shadow colors for me, so I keep them here. And then gold, which is the only Schmincke Horadam gold color which I have in this Daniel Smith palette, for no other reason that it's not that I prefer Schmincke over Daniel Smith, because I can't say that. I have tried Daniel Smith, but I just happened to purchase a tube of this color, so I didn't want to go and purchase Daniel Smith gold just so I have all Daniel Smith colors here, just because I love it. It's a good gold, so I don't see any other reason why I should go and purchase another gold for now. So that's what I have done, and in my mind it works really well because I know that these 4 colors here, these are the speciality colors. As I have said, I still have 5 empty half pans, but those I will fill with the colors that I will with time find, and there are a couple of colors which are out of stock at the moment which I wanted to get. So how this palette began, I think I touched on the point, but it was maybe not as clear. This was my first ever 8 colors that I slowly started collecting from Daniel Smith. So I started off with Opera Pink, Quinacridone Magenta, Quinacridone Violet, Alizarin Crimson, Quinacridone Sienna, Rich Green Gold, Green Gold, and Sap Green. So as you can see, it's heavy on pinks and greens. So obviously I needed to extend it, and from that point here I just picked my super favorite colors. So Sap Green is my favorite green color as it is, and then I have discovered Green Gold and Rich Green Gold as being my also top green colors. So what I have done then is obviously I would need yellows, and so I thought to add a few more pinks, and these were my next options. So I was picking between the yellows. Obviously these three yellows are Permanent Yellow, Deep, Hansa Yellow Deep, and New Gamboge. They are all sort of on the orange side of the yellow, so they're sort of like a very warm deep yellow. So I decided to pick one, being New Gamboge, and obviously I needed a warm tone yellow, so that would be my Indian yellow. So that was done with my yellows. Then I needed, I had my orange as Quinacridone Sienna. I didn't want to go into a classic orange. I love this orange, which I thought would double for me as a, obviously an earthy kind of brown or reddish brown pigment or color, as well as an orange if I needed to mix it with yellows and make it more orange. So that was perfect. Here I also looked at pinks. I wanted to add a few more pinks, and as I mentioned in my previous videos, these pinks were the ones I was thinking about, and I went for the Quinacridone Pink in the end. And then it was obvious for me that I don't have any purples, and I didn't particularly love any purples for me to buy, and I thought it's not a color that I use on a regular basis, so I wanted to mix purples if I needed them, and for that I needed a blue, so I went for the Indanthrone Blue. So that was that, and from there it just expanded a little bit more. So I then ended up with these colors, as I have just mentioned, and I also realized I needed another purple and another blue, so that I could have more variety, because the Indanthrone Blue is a cool tone blue, and I wanted a warm tone blue as well. I added buff titanium, as I said, for the skin tone, and I then also realized that there was a red missing. Alizarin Crimson was my red, but I wanted a more classic red, which would fit in perfectly between Alizarin Crimson and Quinacridone Sienna. So as you can see, this is how I build my colors. I would start with a few and then eventually fill the gaps where I thought it's needed. And it's a very visual color palette, because there were some colors, like I said, I was considering, like the ultramarine turquoise, but it just felt to me out of place. It would not visually suit the color scheme of my palette, so this was quite important for me. So it's not, I don't think this is how usually palettes are built, but this is how I've done mine. So that's what I've done, and I think the only other color I have added was the where is it? It's the Shadow Violet. So I have mentioned everything else to you. Let me just have a quick look. Yes, I have. So the reason I went and purchased a Shadow Violet is to have, which may look a little bit strange to have two shadow colors, is because the Moonglow is like a cool toned grey with some pink in there. It's a very interesting color, as is Shadow Violet. It has some pink undertones in there as well, but it's a warm toned grey. So both of them are sort of in between a grey and a purple, or like a purple greyish sort of color, and depending how you mix them and how you apply them, you can get some really interesting effects of pink coming out. So that was that. The other thing I want to mention to you is that I have gone ahead and, like I said, tried to mix the purples with the pinks that I have. So the Quinacridone Magenta and Indanthrone Blue give me this beautiful kind of like a cool toned purple, greyish purple. Then with Prussian Blue it warms it up a little bit and makes it more deeper. With Quinacridone, I'll just say Quin for short, Quin and Violet, it goes more into sort of, it pulls that, what would you call it, this violet that there is, it kind of pulls it together with the blue and it makes it more purple for that reason. Then Quin Pink warms it up and yeah, so gives me a warm kind of pinkish purple. And Opera Pink, actually I'm not too keen on this purple, but I really love this combination right here with the Prussian Blue. It makes a really beautiful purple. So yeah, this is quite useful to me. I can easily say that these three are not my type of colors, purples, but I definitely love these four and this one. So basically, for me to mix purples, I would use Quin Magenta, Quin Violet and Opera Pink with either of those colors, except for Opera Pink. So yeah, these purples are interesting and they work really well. The color intensity comes out beautifully, they have a nice flow, they mix very well. So then I also wanted to see what I can mix in terms of my browns, because as you can see, the only brown I have, as a matter of fact, is a Quin Sienna or Quin Gold. Those are my kind of neutral brown warm toned colors. So I have gone ahead and done my reds. So the Pyrrol Red, which is a more kind of traditional red, with the Alizarin Crimson, which is more of a pinkish red, and Sap Green, Green Gold and Rich Green Gold I used as my greens to mix and see what I can come out with. These are plenty, so I came out with 6 colors, and these really are enough for me to you know, to satisfy like a for example, this one, this is a typical olive green in my mind, and yeah, these are some really beautiful. So this color, the Pyrrol Red mixed with Green Gold, came out quite similar to my Rich Green Gold color actually. And what else? And I thought some of these looked similar to my Quin Gold, so I swatched my Quin Gold right here, and it is quite similar to this color but different. So yeah, totally useful and to do. As you can see, I don't need to go and buy browns and things like that if I don't use them regularly. So what I went for is the colors that I would use really regularly, and those would be my favorite colors, and the rest I can mix. So yeah, I'm quite satisfied with that. And the other thing obviously to note is that these are the base colors that I could mix, but adding more of the blue or more of the pink, more of the water would give you another variety. You could mix another, I don't know, endless number of colors with just 2 colors. So yeah, I will show you a close-up and also some images at the end of this video. And I hope you found it useful. And yeah, I'm really happy that my Daniel Smith palette is now, I consider it complete. although 5 colors is still to be filled, but it's complete for me in the sense of I have everything now that I need. So yeah, it was fun to do that, and I hope it was useful for you and you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. See you soon.